And of course, your new Eagle comes with the exclusive buyer protection plan. Now, that's quite a package of value. Don't you agree?
It certainly is, and I must say, I'm really impressed with Select Drive.
And I like what you told me about the safety of four-wheel drive.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Now, why don't we go into my office and talk about it further?
There's only one problem.
What's that?
We prefer a different color. We both sort of like the red.
Oh, that's no problem at all. I can have the same car in red ready for you by Thursday.
Great.
Now, why don't we go into the office and get the paperwork out of the way?
You know, I like this car so much, I don't even mind paying full sticker price.
Oh, horse feathers. It doesn't happen that way, and you know that better than anyone. Yet a lot of sales training programs in this industry hand you this kind of let's pretend, as though they really believed it's that easy to sell cars. The fact of the matter is that life on the selling room floor is more like this.
You don't think that vehicle's worth $11,000?
No, I know you guys got a couple, probably at least 1,500 overhead on the thing that you can price come down off of it.
Well, we're here to work. I'm here to work for you. You know, I've got to present it to management. But if I can get you $100 off, would you buy the vehicle today?
100? No.
What you have in mind then?
I was thinking more around. See, that's 11.3 right now. About 10.
Get you an $1,100, $1,300 discount. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I just want to get the total picture here. And I want to get the bottom line. That's very important to me, if you can understand.
Do you have a goal that I should reach or a price that I should reach? Or?
Well, I'll tell you, what I'd like to do is to have you tell me, I'm sorry that I have to do it this way, but I'd like to tell me what you had, and I'm going to tell you what they offered me.
Okay.
In a couple of places I've been. I just want to see if it's comparable.
All right, Dan. First of all, let me explain to you a little bit about the Eagle, just kind of give you a history of the vehicle. Okay. The Eagle this year.
$12,000.
Okay, we're talking this is
$89.95.
Okay, we're going to put a star so we both remember this. Now, I don't want you to get mad at me.
Where are you going?
But I want to think about this tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. If I'm satisfied today, I'll give you a check, a deposit, and you get the car ready for me.
Let me ask you another question. If you found out that everyone wants more money, say $200 more than $89.95, would you pay me more? Because there ain't.
I'll pay you more if this.
Okay.
If I find, wait a minute.
Okay.
Now we'll make a deal then.
Okay.
I'll give you the $200 difference.
Right.
However, if I find that I'm going to get somebody to beat this $89.95, will you give me the commission, the difference in commission between this and what they give
If it's
me?
legit, yeah. But I want them to have a car you can drive away now.
Now that's reality. That's the real world. A world where customers have to be sold, where they play you off other dealerships. It's a world where only the best salesmen survive. And that brings me to the purpose of this program. We've developed these sales techniques discs for one reason: to help you make more sales and to increase your personal earnings. Obviously, if you succeed, the dealership benefits, and so does American Motors. So there's something in this for everyone. About the training program itself, let me warn you that this is different from anything you've ever seen before. We're not going to lecture at you. We're not going to show you actors playing like salesmen. And we're not going to give you a set of selling rules. Instead, we're going to let you decide how best to sell cars. We're going to give you a chance to listen to and watch some salespeople like yourself, some very successful salespeople, I might add, and see what works for them and how they approach this business of selling cars. With the help of a hidden camera, you're going to see these salespeople in actual selling situations. And we're going to give you a chance to analyze what they did right, what they did wrong, and then let you decide how you might have handled the situation differently. To sum up, this sales techniques program is going to give you a chance to think and talk about selling. The objective is to help you decide what you can do to improve your sales techniques. Several quick notes before we begin. To prepare this program, we visited a number of dealerships and shot dozens of salespeople, and they were all truly excellent. However, due to the time limitations of the discs, not all of them will appear here. But be they on the disc or not, we want to say thanks for their cooperation and tremendous help. A second note, and this is more in the nature of a confession. Some of the customers you see on these discs are real, and some were ringers that we rehearsed and sent in to test the skills of particular salespeople. It was only after these mystery customers left that we told the salespeople who they were. The last item. Because most of the sales presentations you're about to see lasted for a half hour or more, we've taken the liberty of editing them so that you'll see just the key moments and highlights. Whenever you see this, you'll know that we've jumped ahead in time. Okay? Enough introduction. Let's get started. Meet, greet, and qualify. I think most of you would agree that these are the first steps of making a sale. This is where you begin to establish some kind of rapport between yourself and the customer and begin the process of digging out the information you're going to need in order to make a successful presentation. To put it another way, this is where you determine the customer's needs, demands, and buying motivation so that you can match them to a particular car and its features. Now let me add that we recognize that good salespeople continue to qualify the prospect throughout the sale. However, I think you'll agree that a good deal of the qualifying should take place within the first few minutes of meeting the customers. We're going to show you 3 different salesmen going through the meet, greet, and qualifying steps. After you've seen all 3, we're going to come back and do a little analyzing.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Mark Painter.
You're Mark? Craig Lewis.
Hi, Craig.
A friend of mine bought a car a long time ago, or a Jeep, and I was looking to buy one. Brother has one and drove it. And I called about 4 days ago, and your manager, somebody said to talk to you.
What Jeep were you looking for?
What kind?
Smaller ones, or like the CJ class, or Wagoneers or Cherokees?
My brother has a CJ5, but I was looking a little bigger, just more, rather than just the Jeep and kind of all around. I just moved from California, and right now it's kind of more like that's mine. I'm going to keep it.
You're going to trade your Mustang in then?
Oh, I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
But it doesn't work in the snow.
Okay.
So, and plus I'm outdoorsy. I like to screw around a lot and whatever. So, I'm pretty interested in getting one. I had a hell of a time the other day with
do you do a lot of camping or fishing? Do you? Do you ski too since you moved out here?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been skiing since I was 4.
Okay. Well, were you looking like the Scrambler or maybe the CJ5 like your friend has?
I don't know. Maybe this. I don't know. Like this looks good to me right now. CJ is my brother's. My brother has a CJ5, and I do a lot of building, do all kinds of stuff, and so.
So you might need to bed.
Yeah. I mean,
okay. I didn't know if you were married. Are you married?
No.
Okay. Well, are you in construction work? Is that what you do? Or?
I bartend right now, but I have done I built houses and lots of other stuff, and I was doing a little fence work, so.
Okay.
I don't know.
The nice thing about the Scrambler...
I've never even seen something like this before.
You've never seen a Scrambler before?
No, with the bed. The Scrambler only has a bed?
Yeah, right. It doesn't come with a full cab over it. You can order it, or you can get for... Well, that is important right now. You can get an optional top that goes all the way over the back, but if it's just you and nobody else, then maybe the Scrambler might be what you want.
This gentleman right here, would like to speak with you?
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing?
Bob. And you are?
Gil Abley.
Gil Abley.
Yeah.
Glad to know you, Gil.
I'm interested in this car out here.
In the 18i?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell you a little bit about it. You looking for yourself, Gil?
Yeah, for myself. I got another car. I'm going to get rid of it, and I want to get one a little more economical.
Okay.
Providing you get the right price.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your vehicle there. You're driving the Pontiac.
Yeah. But I'm going to sell that myself. I already got a buyer for it.
Oh, you have a buyer for it? So you're just looking to buy right now and sell outright on your own?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, what brought you in here to try?
Well, I
you
had a
familiar with
friend
the
of mine.
18Is, or?
No, I read about them. And I have a friend of mine, he sent me over here.
Right.
He said, you could tell me the most about this car.
Right, okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about it.
What are you looking for in a car, Don? You looking for one that good fuel economy, or four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive? Lots of choices.
Yeah, right.
Come to the right place.
You know, and I'm really not 100% sure about all of that. Okay. We have 3 little kids under 4. This is primarily going to be for my wife.
Okay.
For her to go back and forth to the grocery store and everything. Okay. But I sure don't want something that's going to cost me, 10 miles to the gallon kind of thing.
Okay.
You know, because I think that's just ridiculous.
Okay.
With gas going up to $1.50.
It gets expensive, doesn't it?
So and the whole thing is, I'm looking around because I'm not that aware, okay, of cars, because of not driving them.
Okay.
For years and years and years. When I lived in New York, I just called Hertz and rented a car.
I see.
And that was it. I rented.
So you got to try at least several different kinds of models.
Yeah, and I've looked at Volkswagen, I've looked at Toyota, and I'm looking at this point. But I want something small and convenient. And something my kids can fit into without tearing everything apart.
Okay. This is...
Which is already a good challenge for you.
Okay.
Each of the salespeople you just saw sells a lot of cars each year. They certainly know their business. However, in the belief that good salespeople never stop learning, I'm going to suggest something that might help them and you get to the customer's hot button faster. Obviously, the sooner you can uncover a customer's true buying motivation, the sooner you can focus your presentation and get the prospects turned on to the fact that you have what they want and need in a car. In addition, you'll have the kind of information that's going to help you close the sale. Now, this technique is really very simple. Basically, it consists of your asking 3 questions. You can change the wording of these questions to suit yourself. To illustrate this technique, I'm going to use Brian Golden, who's been selling cars for 6 years. Now, let's assume we're early in the qualifying stage, and I find the right time to ask this question. Brian, what would you say is the one thing that you demand or want most in a car?
I think primarily economy, I suppose.
Now, let me ask you something. What does economy mean to you? MPG, the purchase price, the size of the automobile? The fact of the matter is that economy can have several different meanings. And if we stopped here, we might misread the customer. So we ask the second question. What do you mean when you say economy?
Several different meanings for economy hit me, personally. One is purchasing the automobile. It should be economical to purchase. There's also an economy, in my mind, that is important, which is fuel economy and maintenance economy. So the total overall picture of economy actually fits 3 facets of my aspect of what I expect out of an automobile.
Interesting. To him, economy covers purchase price, maintenance, and fuel efficiency. What does that suggest about his hot button? Right. He's looking for economical transportation. But let's not stop here. Let's take this one step further and ask, why did you choose economy as your #1 demand?
I think basically because cars today are relatively not as inexpensive as they used to be, and I find that owning and operating an automobile costs a lot more than it used to be. And I think that's of prime concern to me about the cost of owning an automobile, more so than anything else.
Okay, with just 3 questions, I've discovered that he's going to buy a car from me if I can prove it has the features and qualities necessary to hold down his operating costs. Now think about how knowing this fact is going to guide my sales presentation. I'm going to talk to him about fuel mileage, about how quality construction leads to greater reliability and thus to less maintenance. I'm going to talk about ease of maintenance, about the buyer protection plan. In short, I'm going to place heavy emphasis on operating economy because now I know that's what's going to turn him on to my car. In summary, then, with just 3 questions, I've discovered his hot button and established the theme or focus of my sales presentation. Now, let's try this again. What would you say is the one thing you demand or want most in a car?
Safety.
What do you mean by safety?
In other words, that the car on the road has the durability so it doesn't break down always, and as far as the safety is concerned, when you do break down on a freeway, it's dangerous. So if you got durability, in other words, the car will operate without being in a garage every day.
Interesting. He's not talking about safety at all, but about reliability. Okay, let's ask the 3rd question. Why did you put safety at the top of your list?
Well, as far as the automobile is concerned, you know there's a price on it, but along with the price, you're looking for what that car will do for you. And safety is that. It'll carry you through without breaking down.
As you heard, my 3rd question revealed that he's interested in the relationship of the price to the car's reliability. If that doesn't tell you what his hot button is, I don't know what does. Now, to be sure that you fully understand this technique, let's look at 2 more examples.
Value for my money. Value can be broken down in several different categories. Economy is one. Something that you can drive without a tremendous amount of maintenance cost. Something that you're going to enjoy driving. Something that will justify the price of the automobile. Something that will justify the automobile to make it a pleasure to own and to drive. Because today's market is very competitive, and I think that if you're going to look for a product, regardless of whether it's a car or soap or anything, I think you have to place value at the top of the list, because it's something that, as tight as money is and as important as finances are nowadays, that a value-added product is the most important thing you can have. If you can get the most product for your dollar, then you've got something.
I got to have dependability. It's got to be reliable. I need to know that myself or my family can drive the car wherever they want to go, whenever they want to take it, and get where they're going. I don't want it in and out of service a lot. I definitely don't want it broken down along the road. Because I've had situations occur to me where I couldn't get where I wanted to go because my car wouldn't run. Or worse yet, I've been halfway there and had the car shut off, and I don't like that.
So, we've given you a method of discovering the customer's primary buying motive. But what happens when that motive appears to be price? To put it another way, how do you handle a customer who's got a price in his pocket from another dealer and hits you with, "What's the best you can do for me on this car?" Let's take a look at one of those situations. We'll pick up the action just after the salesman discovers he's got a price shopper on his hands.
But you're looking for one with the exact same equipment on it as this, but only with what type of a radio in it?
FM stereo, AM FM stereo.
Okay. And you've demoed the cars?
Yeah, and I've got a price. I've been shopping around and I got a price on one. And
what you're looking for is to possibly get one for a better price.
You bet.
What you're looking for is to possibly get one for a better price.
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to make sure of, again, is that the vehicle that I'm going to be matched up against
Is the same vehicle,
thing.
right.
Okay, because, you know, I don't want to put you into a position, and I certainly wouldn't want you to put me into a position where there's nothing I can do for you, because if you were referred here to me, I'd like to do everything I can to hold through with what anybody might have told you about me. You see?
Mm-hmm. No, it's basically the same car. I mean,
now,
it's the automatic and...
Okay, now let me ask you this. Was it a deluxe model or a base model? Because the SX4 has two models to it. It has a base model which has your vinyl interior without the split seat. Did it have a split rear seat?
No.
It did not. Okay, then we're dealing with the base model. You see why I'm asking these questions?
Yeah, right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
See? It was like this. All right. So possibly we could deal on the same car here. You do like this one with the same color and so on and so forth. Okay, you don't need to drive it. You know my name. All right, we'll try and put something together for you if you'd like.
Well, I got the money to buy.
Okay.
And I want to buy, I'd like to buy by the end of the month. I'd like to buy soon.
Okay.
I'd like to make you an offer.
On this particular car?
Yeah.
I'm open. Go ahead.
$7,400.
For this automobile?
Yeah.
It might possibly take a little bit more money than that. Just a touch more. Now you're familiar with everything that comes with the AMC. Am I correct to assume that now?
I beg your pardon, with the what?
With the AMC Eagle? Like your
You mean
power
it's the equipment?
steering,
Yeah, the
power
standard.
steering, power brakes. Now this one in particular is a 4-cylinder, okay, not a 6-cylinder. It is an automatic transmission, okay? Now you'd want to add an AM/FM stereo, okay? You're aware that up until June 12th, they come with a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty?
No, I wasn't. What's after June 12th? 1 year? 1 year?
12 months, 12,000 miles on
After that,
everything. Plus, they give you an extra 12 months, 12,000 miles on all major components with a $100 deductible. It's an extended limited powertrain warranty.
That's great.
Okay, but since you said you got the money and you want to buy, okay?
It'd be best to
buy
buy
it
before
June
12th, for
because
sure.
that's a kicker.
For
that's
sure.
great.
5 years, eh?
5 years.
That's
So
great.
1987 or 50,000 miles, whichever comes first, covers bushings, tie rod ends, control arms, transfer cases, transmissions, engines, wiring harness, radiators if they spring a leak. Not if you put a hole in it.
Right.
Radiator,
for sure.
water pump, starters, alternators.
Good deal.
I mean, if you break a door handle off, that doesn't count. If you tear a molding off, that doesn't count, so on and so forth. But
Reasonable.
reasonable.
I used to have a Rambler a long time ago.
Let me ask you this: what type of car are you driving now?
I'm driving a 73 Capri, which is
73.
on its last leg. It's got 156,000 miles on it.
Are you going to be trading that in?
I really don't know, because I don't think it's worth much.
It's not.
No.
I'm going to be honest with you. You
No.
want to know what it's worth? $50 to me, for reals. Okay.
Even if it was in tip-top?
If it was in tip-top, it'd be worth. If it was tip-top.
Not with that kind of miles on it, though.
No.
No way.
See what I mean?
No.
A useful lifespan on an automobile in a common market situation is 100,000 miles. Okay, in your catalogs for blue books, black
Right.
books, red books, 100,000 miles. After that, they don't even show.
Right. Well, it's when you get up around, I'll probably sell the car on my own. My base is 8630 on that, right?
8630. That's plus the 225 for the stereo. Now this particular one you're looking at here has the Rusty Jones exterior paint shield on
I
it.
saw that.
Because it's on the showroom floor, we do that to all of them. If you wish not to have it on it, you'd have to choose one of the ones we have in stock. Because we only
Without it?
Yeah.
What's the difference in price with that? Well, I don't know what else you have in stock, but I like this
$199.
slate blue.
$199.
Okay.
But again, with the paint protector on it, every 6 months, as long as you own the automobile, you get a free bottle of preservative for it. They'll send you a card in the mail so you don't forget. And you bring it in here and we'll give you a free bottle of preservative. You wipe it on and you wipe it off. You never wax it in between. You just, it's a type of finish on the car that when it rains on it, it washes the dirt off of it. So it doesn't, you don't get those dirt spots, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. It's really nice. It washes easier and everything else. And that comes with a lifetime warranty that if the metallic paint ever fades, they'll refinish the car for nothing. Okay. And if you decide 5 years from now that it's not up to snuff and doing what you thought it should, you get your money back.
The 199.
Yeah. If you just feel that it's not doing its job like it's supposed to, you file a claim. And Rusty Jones has never once yet not paid a claim in its 9-year existence.
Great.
Okay. They have to go by a law of averages.
Mhm.
So you're giving me an offer of $7,400 for this car, and I told you it was going to cost you just a little bit more, which it would.
What's, okay.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let me see. Okay. $7,400. Now, I'm not, you know, you're talking $7,400 without the stereo, but I'm going to add the stereo in. I'll tell you what it would cost with the stereo.
Okay.
All right? Give me a minute here. All right. With the stereo, it would be $79.80. Okay. Without the stereo, it would be minus $225. To give you an example of where you would have been without that. 77.55. Okay.
That's a good price.
That's where you'd be at.
How late you open tonight?
Till 9.
Till 9? I think, I got a couple things to do, and I think I'll probably be back later on.
Okay.
That's $77.55 without the stereo.
Yeah, but there would be plus tax and everything else.
Right. Prep and...
Now, am I somewhere which is in respect to the price that you've already gotten on the automobile? Am I out of the ballpark?
No, you're in the neighborhood. You're in the neighborhood.
Am I high? Or am
You're
I
high.
I'm high?
Yeah, you're higher than what I had.
Okay.
I had 76.
You had 76? Possibly there might be one thing or something on here that wasn't on the other one.
I'm going to check on a couple of things. And,
Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you have the paperwork that you got?
No, I do not. Not with me.
That's what you want to check?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do me this favor if you're going to come back tonight? Bring the paperwork with you so that we can go over?
I sure will.
Because I'd like to put that together. Can I do that?
We thought you might be interested to hear what Dell had to say when we asked him, how do you handle a bidding war?
Well, that is a good one, all right? When you get a bidding war going on between yourself and another dealership, there's a number of different ways that you can react to it. And I've gotten away with it plenty of times, all right? Especially during the promotion periods and so on and so forth. If you take a car, all right, in general, and you start talking to a person about markups on a car because they're a price shopper, they're most conscious of a markup on an automobile. It's the saying, well, this guy's giving me $800 off, this guy's giving me $900 off. I'll tell you what, would you buy, if I was going to sell you an automobile, would you buy a car for $100 over invoice? Would you let me make $100 on that car? What would you say?
I'd say yes.
Okay. I'll sell it to you for that. But I'm not going to show you that invoice till you give me $100. Now, are you sure you like that automobile? Okay. Give me $100. And you'll buy it for $100 over invoice, and I'll give you the invoice. That guy's going to sit there and he's going to look at my hand, and I'm not going to move it. I'm not going to move it, and I'm not going to move from where I'm at either. If he gets up, he's getting up and going out the door, because I'll sell him a car for $100 over invoice. But he won't leave. See? Because a lot of times when you get into a price war, the guy's down to a $250 deal anyhow, by the time he even gets to you, depending upon where he's going and where he's been. He may come in here as the first spot, but then again, I've had people come in with laundry sheets.
next step in the sale is to present the product. This is where you relate the features and benefits of the car to the customer's buying motive. At the same time, this is where you prove that the value of the car exceeds the price. Because buying motives aside, you're going to have to deal with price before you're through. And the more value you can establish in the car, the easier it's going to be to avoid what some salespeople call the price auction. Now, in our shooting, we saw an awful lot of very good presentations, and we'd like to show them all. But that would take more time than we've got. So we decided to show you just one which we think illustrates what a good sales presentation should look and sound like. However, before we show you that presentation, we'd like to have you do a little preparation.
Why don't you sit down and try that seat, see what you think of it. How's that feel to you?
Okay, it's a little close.
You have a bar right here that you lift up on the bottom. Okay, and just push back. Does that give you enough room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
What do you think of those seats for a small car?
I like that. Do they recline also?
You bet. On the right-hand side, there's an adjustment at the back of the seat. It's infinitely adjustable. There's no preset positions. You simply turn the dial to put the seat exactly where you want.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, is that an innovation?
It's something that Renault has come out with. There are some other cars in the market that do it.
I'm a little bit older. I remember the old Ramblers.
Most of them are preset.
With the preset,
right.
They would recline all the way, halfway, and full up.
Yeah.
That was it.
If you look at a lot of our competition, you'll find that their seats are still the same.
Yeah.
With preset positions. Got all your controls are very easy access from your driving position. They use a manual choke, so you don't have to worry about automatic choke sticking and causing you a problem. First in the morning, you pull the choke out, you start the car up. Sometimes if it's really cold during the day, if you have to restart it, you'll have to pull the choke out to start it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it simply pushes in. You've got your turn signals on the column. Okay, your horn's also there, pushing this in, turning this forward.
Oh, that's something that I need.
Yeah, everything's right there. Yeah. That turns your headlights on. Okay, and then you've got turn signals there too. Even above there, these are all the other controls that you use most of the time. Emergency flashers, rear window defroster, which is standard on the car. A heater motor, which is a 2-speed heater motor.
Do you have a little manual to give you the interpretation of all this?
Yes, it will come with the car. This is your control for your dash lights.
Windshield wipers. I figured one out.
Okay, that's your rear window washer wiper assembly. Your windshield wipers are right there. Okay?
I didn't figure it out.
No problem. These are your heater controls. One of the neat things about it, by pushing these in the up position, your heater will defrost. Okay? You can adjust it separately. If you want to defrost on your side, but your passenger's cold and wants to heat on them, it'll come directly on your passenger. Which is a nice idea, I think.
Yeah.
I think so too.
That's terrific.
These little vents right here, these are where your air conditioner will come out. But these right here, you see them slanted on the side, are for your side window defrosters. So as you're driving, you turn your defroster on, it'll keep your side windows clear as well as the front window. Don't keep fogging up on you.
Okay.
It's they're the...
That's terrific.
Yeah.
And is that kind of thing standard on this?
Yes. Yes, it is. Even on a base model, you get it. Is front-wheel drive important to you? That's something you'd like in the...
Again, you see, I don't really know. Is that important here? Now, because we bought a house out here, and I know this year, driving in the snow drives me bananas anyway, because I'm not used to it.
It takes a while to get used to it.
Because in Manhattan, all I did was wave a cab.
Yeah.
You know, let somebody else do the driving. So I don't really know.
Okay.
Is it important to have the front wheel?
It'll help me a little bit, I think, if I show you, and that might show you some of the benefits of it. Renault's been building front-wheel drive cars for almost 21 years, which is longer than anybody else in the marketplace. Okay, I think they really have the design of the system worked out well. With front-wheel drive, what you get, Renault mounts the engine in line. I don't know if you've looked at any other front-wheel drive cars yet. Some of them are mounted transverse. Some of them mounted transverse with the transmission in front of the engine. Okay? By mounting it in line, the engine sits directly on top of the transaxle. The benefit is that all your weight is centered right between the two front tires. It's like taking maybe the Pinot that you were talking about and sticking a whole bunch of sandbags in the back. Okay, you have much better traction under snow, ice conditions. It also helps you with really hard rainy conditions. The fact that it's front-wheel drive, if you're driving a front-wheel drive car and you begin to hydroplane, you feel the sensation immediately. You back off your gas pedal about 3 miles an hour, and the car will help settle down. So you can feel it before it hydroplanes and causes you a problem.
Oh, that's
It
terrific.
really gives you much better traction. They use a electronic ignition system.
I like that best of all. Because my wife is just relearning to drive again, because she didn't drive either for years until we moved here to Utah. So.
Some of the other nice things about this car, I think I already told you, steel belted Michelin radials come standard with it, which are an excellent tire for a small car. You've probably heard of their reputation. It also has what's called a wet sleeve engine design. Are you familiar with that at all? Okay. It's something that Renault does inside the engine block. Okay. A normal car will have a cylinder wall which is bored and a piston which operates up and down inside the cylinder wall. Okay. On a Renault product, there's the cylinder wall and then a sleeve that goes down inside the block itself. The piston operates up and down inside the sleeve. With the sleeve being between that and the engine block, the engine coolant circulates up and down the cylinder as well as around the outside. The advantage to you from that are really two major ones. First, that since the coolant is right there, there's a lot better heat exchange inside the cylinder. So the piston and all the internal parts work under a lot less heat, so there's a lot less problem with heat fatigue or wearing out because of heat. Also, if you ever had a problem with one of the cylinders, okay, that sleeve
can just come out.
Right. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but it's much easier than taking everything out and reboring the whole engine block and putting in all oversized pistons. This can really help your repair costs down the road. I have an RC.
How long being a foreign made? Okay. How long do you anticipate, under normal usage, that this will actually last us?
I have an R16, which you've probably never heard of or familiar with. It's a big four-door Renault. Okay, at my house, which my wife drives every day. It has 145,000 miles on it. It has had one kit put in it, and that was done, which is re-sleeving it and those things, at about 105,000 miles. You know, I can't promise you that every car is going to go that good, okay? But with that engine design, there's no reason they shouldn't last as long as any conventional engine in 100,000 miles.
The possibility of not getting something with built-in obsolescence like so many.
Okay.
You know.
One of the best advertisements for the car is that Consumer Reports recommends them as a used car to buy. Okay? They have a rating system for used cars. A Renault car is rated very high as a used car. I think that's probably one of the best advertisements for the car. They also they have a totally sealed cooling system. Okay? It's the whole idea of the system is for it to be air-free. If there's air inside that system, as say when you take your radiator cap off, you probably know that that air will react with iron to cause rust. Okay? The whole idea is to help eliminate a lot of the rust problems that the cars can have. You need to check the system about every 2 to 3 years. Okay? And make sure that's it. When you do, you add distilled water. Okay? And it has a bleeding valve in it, so you take the air out. Easy to do.
Really be good for my wife. She would never have to worry about checking the water, right?
Yeah, that's right. And if you have a problem, obviously you have a light on your dash, which will come on and tell you about it. They're a totally independent suspension, which your wife, I think, would probably enjoy. Simply driving, going over rut holes, ruts, bumps, railroad tracks, those kinds of things. Each tire will step over a bump separately. So if she hits a big chuck hole on this side,
the whole car doesn't fall apart.
Right.
Oh, there's plenty of room there.
Why don't you go ahead and try that and see what you... Let's try this. That's where you had the seat in your driving position. How's that for you even back there?
A little low, but it's okay here. Which I've seen in others, you know, it's not comfortable in the back seat at all.
I think a lot of that has to do with the way they design the seats. bottom of the seat doesn't take up a whole bunch of leg room in the back. How's that back seat feel to you?
There's room there for one of the guys to climb up there and sleep. As they have a want to do.
Nice thing about that back hatch too, it will fold down this little, so if your wife wants to go and get groceries and stuff and wants to stack them up back here because she has to take the children with them, okay, they can still be stacked up here. Spare tire is mounted here when you get one with air conditioning. Without air, it'll be mounted under the front hood. There's your floor mats. You want to take one for a ride and see what you think of it? Yeah. Run around block? Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as in the example we just saw, getting the customer to go for a demo drive presents no problem whatsoever. But other times, you find the customer is reluctant to go. How do you get him in the car? Here's what several salespeople had to say on the subject.
Well, if we can find a car that the customer shows some interest in, very simply, it's just, well, why don't we take it for a drive? Let me show you how the car performs. Would you buy a pair of shoes without trying them on? If you've never had any experience with the Renault, this is an experience you'll remember. There's a lot of different phrases that you can use with the customer that make good sense, so that they'll see, hey, it's important that I do drive the vehicle, so that I can make a determination on what's best for me to buy.
What we do is excuse ourselves. You go to the keyboard, you get the key to that particular car. You say, Mr. Customer, excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back. I want to pull this car up so you can have a better look at it. And you pull the car right up to the door. You've got a dealer plate on it or whatever you're going to use. And you waltz about and say, Mr. Customer, follow me. You don't ask them. At this point, they still don't know they're going for a ride. They might have an idea, but you say, Mr. Customer, would you follow me, please? And you take them outside, and you get them behind the wheel, and at that point, you go, now let's take it for a drive. You wouldn't buy a pair of shoes without trying them on. You're not going to buy a car without driving it. And if you've got control of the situation, you've got control of the customer, very, very few people will absolutely refuse to go for a demonstration ride.
You have a person, all right? They've already told you they don't want to take a demo drive. They just want to look at the cars. Fine. And you've gone through a few different automobiles with them. We have what's called our product knowledge guides for salesmen, which comes to AMC, Jeep, and Renault books. Every salesman should have them because they're a sales tool. Not that they're going to read out of the book and use it to sell the car. You know what you do to that book? The man's either going to be interested in an AMC, Jeep, or Renault if he's in this showroom, right? If you got him in the showroom or if he walked in the showroom or anything like that. At that point, you should have him interested in an automobile. You take one of your sales training guides. Now, this is my personal book here, sir. Oh, yeah? You know, the guy, this is my sales training guide. You normally don't let customers look at this, but you sound like you were very interested in the type of technology put into this automobile. I'm going to let you take a look at it for a minute. I've got something I've got to do. All right? You put this book in front of him, and he's infatuated. He doesn't care what you're doing. He gets to see your personal book. All right? You go out, you pull the car up right in front of the door, whether you're on the right or left of the showroom, front or back. You pull it right out in front of the door. I pulled this car up so we could take a drive. Come on, I'll drive. Say, okay. He gets in the car, you take off. You start down the road, you stop, pull over. Here, this car is so nice, you go ahead and drive it. He's going to drive it. You're out on the road already. You already got him away from the dealership. He doesn't care. He's going to drive it. He wants to drive it even because he saw you driving it, and it's brand new. He maybe hasn't driven a brand new car in 4 years. Maybe he's driven 20 already. See? There's no way of knowing unless you've qualified the person right in the first place. But maybe the reason why he told you he didn't want to take a demo ride in the first place was because he's already driven 20 different cars today. But if you don't give him the opportunity to drive your car, you're depriving the man of the opportunity to see what he's getting for his money.
Let's take a look at how some salespeople handle this situation on the floor.
Okay, what they've done, Jeep has lowered the base price on all the CJ products. The 5, the 7,
so instead
and the
of,
Scrambler.
Instead of
this is the base price is $67.65, which gives you an opportunity to buy the car at a lot lower price. A couple of years ago, matter of fact, which helps. It's a nice incentive.
Yeah. Good time to get it.
Yeah, let me get the keys and we can drive this
okay.
one. You have a
I'm
question?
just willing. I'm willing to even just sit down right now instead of driving. And I've driven the Jeeps.
Well, you haven't driven a Scrambler. You said that, so I want you to make sure the shoe fits. Won't take any time at all. Why don't you hop on over here and I'll show you where everything's at while I'm driving it for a little bit.
This one?
Yeah, you can hop over. Get on this side here.
Outside. Yeah, I'm gonna like this.
Yeah, I think you will.
No,
Seem
you've
to
given
fit
me
your
a lot.
needs? Sound like what you're looking for?
Sounds like it.
Okay.
But what's it sell for?
Okay. Well, let me get the keys and see. We can take you out for a small drive.
I won't have that much time.
You don't have any time?
No, I won't have time to
Well,
go for a ride. But
okay.
I'm interested in price now. What does this say?
Okay, this here is the sticker price.
Yeah.
Of it, okay? Now, if there's a price we can agree on, would you be interested in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it would have to be, I can't use a stick model. I have to use an automatic.
The automatic.
So there'd be a difference in price with that.
Right, right.
Then it would have to be this type of seat. I don't want them leather seats like I got in that car.
Well, you have a choice. I'll show you.
My wife doesn't
our
like
different
that.
choices. Excuse me for 1 minute, Gil.
Yeah.
Let me take you out for a little drive. We can just go right down around the block. It'll take about 2 minutes. So I'd really like to have you see how it drives, how it handles. Let's take 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay.
Now we move on to the demo ride itself. And before we show excerpts from several actual demo rides, let's hear what one sales manager has to say about what should be accomplished while out on the road.
Okay, any vehicle on a demonstration ride, naturally you want to point out the things, the features in use. In other words, how the headlights turn on, the handling characteristics, how front-wheel drive handles if you should be lucky enough to be driving on a slippery day. This is when you really point out how the brakes work. This is how you point out how quiet the automobile is. These are the things you've talked about on the showroom. And it's important that you point these things out because a customer has to be impressed. And it doesn't matter what kind of vehicle you're on. You tell them to hit the brakes, and they've been driving a 4-year-old car. Naturally, any new vehicle is going to feel impressive when you point out these things. Handling characteristics, braking, quietness, whatever. And if you can get them to actually do those things and experience those, that's important. The other thing that we try to get our people to do while they're on a demonstration ride is establish what we call a common ground with the customers. All right? In other words, it actually is some more qualifying. But where they work, where they live, some of their hobbies, their interests, maybe talk a little bit about their family, small talk. But finding something that they're interested in that possibly you're interested in. All of a sudden, if you can start talking about something that both of you know about, you find that there's a bond between the salesperson and the customer that's very important down the road. They all of a sudden will trust you more if you can find some common ground. And when you've got them in a closed situation, such as a demonstration ride, it's a perfect opportunity.
Okay, let's look in on some demo rides. By the way, there's some rough camera work in this section, and occasionally you'll hear some static. That's the price you pay when you decide to capture the real thing.
See, we had different cars for different times, and we needed the station wagon when we were schlepping our kids to baseball practice and football and all of that. But now we're getting to a time where we need something more comfortable.
With the control.
Oh, yeah.
The horn is on the longest stalk of it.
This one?
Push it in.
Okay.
And your turn signals is the stalk with the arrows on it.
This one?
Yeah, there's certain things at fingertip control. Okay. And lights, I guess you won't be using all now.
Yeah.
I want to point out something that's kind of unique.
Yeah, okay. This is a... Now, how do we turn this down a little bit?
Okay, just turn the fan dial.
This?
Down.
Okay. Good, that way I can hear you.
You've got 4 different speeds.
Yeah. In the Horizon, a lot of times, my wife gets all screwed up
with the various. We've got what, just one.
Other people get screwed
one,
up
but it
too,
has all
not
the
just your
controls on it.
wife.
See, they separated it into two because a lot of people a lot of people were getting it mixed up. A lot of them
Oh,
are
I know.
now. Yeah. So we now have two.
Okay. Wipers over on this side. You got a lot to play with, don't you?
There's an oil level gauge, which is rather unique. It's something that they should all be putting in now. Because, you're going to a lot of self-service stations. There aren't many full service stations around. The little lower gauge, when you first turn on the car, they'll swing over and show you the oil level. That way you don't have to get out of your car now. So when you go to a self-service station, you can just turn the car on, and it shows you the oil level. You don't even have to get out and check the oil level now.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
You don't have to stick the stick into the oil tank to see what it
Does it all electronically for you. Best thing to do is to take a left and go out this road here.
Okay.
What were some of the things that you liked about your car?
I like the size. I mean, we've talked about it. It has front-wheel drive, which I like. It's been good in snow.
Let's take one of these for a drive.
You have one of these like
I'll
available?
drive one. Sure do. Okay, let's go right around here. And I'll tell you one thing. You notice the visibility. You can see everything around you. Even a guy like me, I'm a 6-footer, and I've got long arms, I've got big hands, I've got long legs. And it's a very, very comfortable car for me to drive.
I want to tell you something that can make all the difference in the world because we drive an old Starfire.
Right.
And it's a hatchback, a slope back type thing. And you look over your right or left shoulder. Sometimes I get a back problem,
Right.
I can't do that,
Right.
And with the mirrors, are useless to you. You look out and there's enormous blind spots, and you try to look out, and they got a post. The post is about like that wide,
Right.
So it gets ridiculous.
Now, right down here, you got a crater, not to interrupt you.
Whoa.
See there? Notice the suspension in there.
That's not bad.
See, now, if we had done something like that in anything other than a Renault, we would have been in trouble.
What I'd like to do, if you don't mind, get you a feel for that independent suspension that I was telling you about. Up here to the other side on 39th, there's some railroad tracks that are good and ready. You can take those at 40 miles an hour in this car. You'll just go over them, and you'll feel how smooth it will handle. Here's the railroad tracks. Go ahead and step it up. Go ahead. It won't hurt a bit. The wheel shouldn't pull out of your hand.
Oh, that's beautiful.
How's that feel?
Now here's your nice turns. Got a bike rider up there, so you gotta. Notice how it handles and tracks. It's almost effortless. It goes exactly where you point it. There's no oversteer or understeer in this automobile because it has a McPherson type front suspension, but it has dual control arms, so it has a negative scrub radius, and it has a live axle rear end, which turns with the front wheels. The harder you corner, the more the axle turns. And both wheels and tires are holding the turn for you. That's why it turns like that.
How often do you say, like, drive up the canyons, like, say, the Snowbird or something like that?
Well, we didn't get too much opportunity this year because of my crazy schedule. But I'd sure like to do it more often. But also, I've got this big, enormous car, and like I said, driving in the snow scares me anyway.
Well, nice Snowbird. I had a customer who works up at Snowbird. She really liked the car. She was really impressed with the fuel economy, which is 32 in town, 40 on the highway, very well. She loved the car, but she just, since it was a small car, she didn't know if it was going to perform up those hills. So we went up to Snowbird, just took one off the lot and took it up to Snowbird. And we did not have to come out of third gear going all the way up that hill, even around that really peak-S turn.
Before we go back in, you should really try it.
Well, there'll be another place that we can turn off. I'll show you.
You don't want to, really? Okay.
I haven't tried any of the cars we've
should.
I know. But I have this thing about machines.
Well, okay, I'll get you on a back road on an industrial complex where we'll no cars, no trees. It'll be very safe. You'll feel more comfortable.
Keep
We're
going
going to take a right here.
Okay.
I don't even have an electric can opener. I mean, I'm a good driver. I've been driving for years and years and years. It's just that I always feel an inhibition about a new one.
It does handle very nice. I like it.
How fast does it go?
Not as fast as we're going to drive it.
Not as fast as we're going to drive it. I think you meant the other way.
Yes.
Oh, I know what I want to know. What about getting onto the Beltway? In other words, you know, when you all of a sudden are going 5 and then you have to go 55 because you have to get right in there and move.
Drop it down in second and step all the way down on it. You have your foot, you got to put your toe into it. You're in fourth, I think.
I'm in fourth?
Yes.
Oh,
There
sorry
you go.
about that.
Okay, now step on it and then shift when you need to.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it's got
it
a little
does.
power, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a very small engine.
Yeah.
it is.
It
Oh,
has
it
a lot
looks
of power.
huge in the
Well,
showroom.
This is a 1600. Now on the Horizon you have a 1600 and a 2000. I don't know which one you have in your car.
I don't know.
Go ahead and give it gas around this turn. It will hold on to it. The way it's designed.
Well, I don't like to do that anyway.
Only when you're crabby.
Why is that?
He doesn't talk and drive fast at the same time. He can drive very fast if he feels not like talking.
Giving away
It's nice.
trade
You like it,
secrets.
don't you?
I love it. Trade secrets. Love it.
You do love it?
No, shut up.
I love it. I don't know about this color. What colors does it come in?
White, red, dark
White,
blue.
Dark blue might be nice.
Green, what we call beige. It looks gold.
That might be nice.
Black. This is a
I don't
green
like
color,
this
right? Yeah.
interior. This is the same color interior as the Horizon. I really never liked it. They told us we had to get it with the yellow car, and I wanted the yellow car because I read that little cars were best when they were a bright color. So that's why we got a yellow Horizon. But
Just
I hate
stop
it.
here, and you'll tend to proceed straight. You won't take a right.
You know, one nice thing about the AMC line, you've got so many, as opposed to your foreign car dealerships, you've got so many more places that you can have the car worked on if it does need work, okay? And this warranty that we were talking about, that's not just through our dealership, okay? Anywhere in the nation you go, all right, that warranty is going to stand behind you. We also have trip interruption protection.
A little short on time today, but I'd like to sit down and maybe give you an idea price-wise at least what I'm gonna.
Were you going to be trading your car in or not?
I don't think so at this point. I think I want to kind of hold on to it if I could for my wife. But...
Okay. See, it's funny that we don't normally discount these vehicles at all, but I'll make some arrangements. I'll talk to Rick because we have this tent sale going on. We got one that's discounted because of the tent sale, which is the red one that's underneath the tent out there. I don't even know if you saw it or not, but I'll see if I can work the same type of thing out for you on whichever one you choose. See, the turbo that he's got under the tent, he's discounting $500. You'll turn right at the light up here. Right? Right. The biggest thing we have to do is see which...
Who is Rick now?
Rick is the general manager. Marty's probably talked about him too. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess he did say.
Rick's the one with the snowmobiles.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. All right, now you know. But we'll drive through the back and see which particular car you'd like so that I can tell him. All right?
Okay.
All right? You've just completed the demo drive and you're pulling back into the dealership. At this point, if all's gone well, you're starting to lead up to the close. This transition from demo ride to closing is a critical one, and we ask our sales managers to talk about this particular point in the sale.
The whole process should be one of a constant trial close. When we're on the demo route, we drive the car back into the dealership yard. We instruct the individual to park the car in the sold lane. That's going to bring some response from the customer. Well, I'm not buying this car. Well, I know that, sir, but we park them here so that we know where all our demos are. Or if he parks it there and he says nothing, good shot, that's a car he wants to buy. If he says, well, I don't like that one, from that point you can take and walk him through your inventory, show him the other models like this car. And maybe he didn't like the blue one, he wants a red one. Which again, you're doing a trial close. At this point, you've now accomplished, I don't like that car, but I do like a blue one, for instance. Or I like that car, but I don't like the color. You now know you're on the right model, you're going the right way. From this point, bringing them inside should be fairly easy.
Well, what we do, okay, is at that point you give them a recap. Okay, another featured presentation. Not as long, but a recap of the first one you gave. Just remind them of the exterior parts of the car. They've been in the interior now. They've seen the interior. They see how it handles. They've experienced the driving of it. We give them a recap to freshen their minds of what they're buying, what options are on the car. Because if you don't do that, then when you sit them at the desk, then all they're thinking about is money, and they actually forget what options are on that car. And so you come back from the demonstration ride, you give them a recap, and then you take them into the showroom floor. Set them at your desk. At that point in time, you should have a pretty good idea if you've got them or not.
Usually you come back from the demonstration ride, and the car is parked. You and the customer get out of the car, and, you know, well, what do you think? Can we make you a deal today? Naturally, everything is geared for the close today. So the questions are all closing questions at that point. Well, why don't we go inside and let's see what we can get for your trade? Let's see how much discount we can figure out. We always put the customer and the salesman as buddies. We, okay? Not let me see how much I can get you for your car. Let me see how much discount I can get you. Say, let's see how much discount we can get you. Let's see if we can get your payments at $150 a month. Because actually, and I try to tell all my salespeople, you are working for that customer. If you can't sell a car to that customer, you don't make any money. You work for that customer. And you've got to keep that in mind all the time. So at that point, it's let's go in and see what we can do. And we tell salespeople not to finger trade. Don't stand out on the lot and talk trade values. Don't stand out there and talk monthly payments. Use a formal closing atmosphere, like a closing booth, a desk, one of our couches. Use the lounge, wherever you can get the customer off by themselves, so that they feel comfortable, so that they don't feel any pressure or they don't have any distractions really from anything outside.
Now we come to the actual close. For many salespeople, this is the most difficult part of the sale. Yet obviously, this is probably one of the, if not the, most critical moments in selling. If you haven't got a good closing technique, you're going to have some pretty lean paychecks. We realize, of course, that closing policies vary from dealership to dealership. And for that reason, there's no way we can deal with all the variations in this program. So what we're going to do is show you 3 closing situations. Each one is different. We'll look at each one and then give you a chance to see what techniques you might want to adapt for yourself.
Now, Dan, and I'm sure your wife and you have talked over purchasing a new vehicle and what some of the needs and that type of thing. Do you feel the Eagle would be the type of vehicle that's going to handle those needs for you?
Yeah, I think pretty much I wanted to see that back area, you know, in terms of comparing that to the Volkswagen.
How does that vehicle compare to the other vehicles that you may have looked at?
Well, I haven't looked at to see if the Volkswagen has something comparable. The Dasher's the only thing I know of that fits pretty much everything that we need. I don't know if they've made anything. I don't know that they have it. I don't think they have Dashers now. I don't think they make them anymore.
I'm not sure myself.
I haven't looked at any of the other kinds of wagons they have. We're kind of sold on Volkswagens. But, you know, hopefully, except for the floating problem with that one, we've had good luck with the Beetle and the consistent strength of them. But anyway, yeah, it has the same qualities. You know, we're looking for a combination truck, station wagon, car. You know, and it seems to fit those. So.
Do you think you'd ever be towing anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
you know, I did that on that last trip with
the Eagle's going to be excellently suited, you know, for towing.
But
it's not going to tow a big giant house trailer, but a small boat, utility trailer, that type of thing. You into motorcycles or anything like that?
No, but what we do is I occasionally tour across the country and just a small trailer.
Of course, you probably won't even feel that behind the Eagle there. All right. When you first came in, Dan, you seemed a little astonished about the price.
I haven't shopped, obviously, since I bought that one, and I have gone around a little bit, but I've been looking in the, $8,000 range.
Right around the $8,000 range.
So that was a little shocking,
Now you say you've been looking in the $8,000 range. Have you found any cars that you like in that particular price range?
Not that have that combination, yeah.
You know, Dan, you said you were going to be trying to stay right around $8,000. Was there any particular reason? Have you talked with your credit union or your bank?
Well, I haven't really worked out exactly what a payment thing would be. I mean, payment schedule would be. But judging from past experiences and interest rates at this point, seems to me like that. I don't think we can go. We were paying $180 on that, and how much higher than that we could go is in question.
I see.
And I mean, the 180 was all right. We were able to swing that consistently for the last few years. But
now you mentioned that you are making the last payment on that one. Is that correct? Now, would you be keeping that car, Dan, or were you planning on trading that vehicle in?
I'd like to trade it in.
I see. If you're making your last payment, so you don't owe anything on it. Geez, that's got to be a nice feeling.
So what am I doing?
Let's kind of get ourselves a basic idea of where we're going to be as far as a trade-in value on the vehicle. Of course, you know the vehicle a lot better than I do. So what I'm going to do is go over kind of a little appraisal here and just kind of have you answer some questions for me on it. The powertrain on it, you mentioned it has had some fuel injection problems. That pretty well cleared up on them
The
now?
powertrain?
Yeah, the engine, transmission.
Transmission's in good shape. It's got a new rear axle.
Okay.
Whole rear axle thing was new last, well, new. It's always new if you put it in. It was new last summer.
I see.
I tune it up at TuneX usually about once every 6 months. And we've been real good about that. The only problem is it's got that ding in the fender and that fuel injection problem that I can't seem to solve.
Small body work. Now that was on the, what, the passenger?
Front left, yeah. No, front driver.
Driver's side. Have you ever had that appraised? What would it cost to fix that?
No, I haven't.
Okay. It's kind of scary these days with body work and everything.
just figured, I figured it wasn't worth the $100 deductible on my insurance. So I just figured.
Nice. Interior, pretty good shape on it?
Yeah, I've been careful with the kids and kept it carpeted. Pulled the carpet up and it's...
Fantastic. Just on your safety equipment, brakes good on it?
Yeah, they're new.
Okay.
They were all done last December.
Okay. How's your steering on it? Do you have excessive play in it? Or?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Suspension, your shocks and everything there?
Yeah,
you don't find yourself?
No.
Okay.
No, we did that number on it too.
Good. Cracks or any stars in the windshield glass?
No, it's new too. Boy, we put money into this thing.
How about the exhaust?
Yeah, we really have. Come to think of it.
How about the exhaust? Is it a standard type exhaust?
I have no idea about the exhaust.
Sounds good though. It's not yelling down the road. Right? You haven't had any people yelling at you to Midasize it?
We Midasized it. It's got a 2-year warranty on it, or lifetime warranty on it.
Lifetime warranty.
On the brakes and the muffler, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And it's not a lifetime on the brakes, but it's
got a warranty.
It's still under warranty because that brakes and muffler were done last fall.
How are the tires on it? pretty good shape?
They're all good except the front left is in bad shape.
Okay.
But there's a spare that is in better shape.
Now that is front-wheel drive, right?
Yes.
Lights and turn signals all working? So other than some molding and the body work there, it's basically in pretty good shape, and the tires in pretty good shape all the way around.
The windshield wipers don't work.
Need to fix the windshield wipers. Okay.
It's not the motor though; it's just the assemblage.
Oh, I see.
I did figure that out, so it's not anything.
It's still turning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you talked with your, anybody, or have you had any ideas between you and your wife about what kind of figure you wanted for your trade-in?
Yeah, well, it depends on what we're trading it in for, but I think book on it is 24, and I'd like to get that in a trade-in.
Okay, $2,400. Okay. Now, on the price of the vehicle, now AMC does have a promotion going on right now. It's more or less a price incentive, backing $500 off the price of the vehicle. Okay. Now we can put that $500 either in just taking it right off the list price, we can put it into your allowance, put it into cash down, all these types of things here. Did you have any cash down that you were going to work with, Dan?
That's tough. With 4 kids, it's always tough to come up with cash.
Sure.
I'd much rather deal out of the trade-in.
Just the equity from the trade. Okay. That puts us at an approximate finance balance of about $98.80 without taking in the $500 into effect anywhere at this point. Had you thought, now what was the monthly payment? You're making about $180 a month right now.
Yeah.
Had you thought about what kind of monthly payments you're planning on going this time around?
Well, we figured it'd have to go up. I mean, obviously we're not dealing with... Things have changed. I like to keep it under $250.
Now, where we are right now, when we're financing this amount right here, probably looking at payments right around $325 to $335 on it. Figuring your average payment on cars today is getting up quite up there because your average car is, close to $10,000, between $10,000 and $20,000 these days.
Yeah.
On it. Of course, we'll work with you on the figures as best we can and the interest rate. As far as your payments, do you think you'd be able to make payments of $330, $335 a month, Dan?
I don't think so. I think we'd have to figure out some way to bring it down.
A little bit steep, huh?
Yeah. I mean, sounds dangerous to me.
Okay. You said about $250 that would be about the most you'd be able to go.
I was hoping to keep it there.
Okay. Tell me this, Dan. If we could get you into that particular vehicle that we drove, okay, giving you enough on your VW to keep your payments right around $250 a month, could we sell you that unit there?
Let's say it would look awfully good to me if we could keep it down there.
Okay. That's going to be the big thing then, the monthly payments?
Yeah.
The only thing is this maybe a little higher than I wanted to go.
Hold it. Now, honestly, if you were looking at a Mercedes, we'd be probably talking $30,000 more. If we were talking about a Volkswagen, we'd be talking the same money. If you were talking an Audi 4000, you'd be talking $3,000 more. What I'm saying is, you don't walk on the street today, get a touring type automobile like that for under $9,000, you don't do it. They don't make.
All right,
those
let me
kind of
ask you
cars.
this. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to buy this car. You're not going to deal with writing any paperwork, any putting me through any bank, doing any kind of.
I don't want you.
I'm going to come in and give you a check. Now,
Fine.
I mean, are we at the total bottom line here?
If you're going to give me a check, here's what we'll do. That's it. All I'm telling you is
See,
this.
that's a
You don't
joy.
go-
Says you're a good salesman, and you make it tempting. You know that.
Here, put it this way.
Here's.
You're gonna.
You can't. You don't have to sell me in a car anymore.
Fine.
You know what? What I'm concerned with is that you're the first one I'm coming into, and I'm just wondering if
Can I
I
ask you a
shouldn't be
question?
shopping.
Can I ask you a
know,
question?
I'm afraid.
How much you pay for that jacket? $50, $60, $70?
$49,
If you pay, let's say
$50.
you paid $100 for the jacket. Every time you put it on, you stand in front of the mirror and say, "Oh, I wonder if I paid too much." Do you say that? No, you don't, because the jacket looks good on you. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm not going to. You know, the day is gone. There is no $2,500 markup in these cars. 10% is what you have on an import car. 10% markup. I ain't going to Florida because you bought a car. I'm not leaving tomorrow. I'm selling you a quality personal merchandise at a reasonable price that I'm making a little money. I got to make something. And you got yourself a hell of an automobile. You're going to be happy because you're driving your new car.
I'm not. I didn't come in here to beat you down. You know, I mean, I know that.
You're not the kind of guy that beats people down.
I don't want to do that, but the only. I mean, you make it. Here I'm looking. We started at 95 already. I'm saving close to $500 from what it shows. You got the car I want.
Then
Looks
buy
like
the
I
car.
could get it.
Buy the car. Don't be a dummy. Buy the car. Really.
The only thing is this. We're talking $9,000.
Yeah, I know.
We're not talking. I mean, you know.
If we
both could remember the day when you could buy a car for
$3,700, right?
exactly.
And I'd wave goodbye, and they drove out the door happy as can be.
But today, for $9,000, I mean, either you got to give me a couple tomatoes in the car or something, you know. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you here. What you get is 12,000 miles or 1 year, unconditional guaranteed parts and labor. Come on, you got to buy a car. You're going to have to sit down somewhere. At least you're not pressured.
I know that. And I mean, as far as that, I feel fine. But here's where I'm feeling. Here's where I'm in between. That you're the first one I'm coming into. Am I making a mistake? Should I be shopping around? I mean, I think maybe I should get another, just to be safe.
Fine. Let me ask you a question. What if you went to every other joint and everybody wanted more money? Would you come back and say, Walt, you made a mistake, I'm going to give you $200 more because
No.
everybody else was asking $2 more? No, you don't want to say that. On the same hand, you're smart enough and you've been around long enough to know the markup, like I say, on a $9,500 automobile is about 10%. That's what markup is on your foreign cars. So if I've given you $500, you're leaving me with $400 and some odd dollars. If that isn't fair, then I don't want to sell the goddamn car. I don't want to sell it. I'll burn it and let it sit there.
No, you don't want, not when I need a car so bad. You don't
What
want to
I'm
burn
saying is I'll burn the car before I give it away. And nobody gives cars away no more, regardless of what you hear. It ain't like you ain't ever bought an automobile before.
Can you, how fast would I be able to get this car?
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
You know what I better do? I better just kick this around tonight.
No,
You're
you
here
know what
tomorrow?
you're doing to yourself? You know what you're doing to yourself? Basically, you're sticking yourself in a corner, and you don't want to come out of the corner. The car is wrecked that you owned. There ain't, by God or man, nobody's going to be able to put that old car together again. You are without a car. I don't care if you go home tonight, sit at the old kitchen table, have a can of beer. Nothing is going to change from the situation the way it is.
No, you're right. I mean, I know I need it.
Now, if you're not coming to a stranger, someone that you know has said, hey, go see this guy. All I can promise you this is after you own the car, I'll like you as much after you spend your money as before you spend your money.
I know, but I would like it if you liked me less than the $9,000. I mean, I'd like you even more.
Okay, let's do this. Last time, first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you.
All right.
$8,995. If you don't buy it, shame on you. That's all I can tell you. You ain't a car buyer. You're getting so much in this automobile that you should be paying for. If you went into another Toyota store or a Datsun store, every little thing would have a white sticker on the side for the they stuck on the car they want you to buy, so they can give you a $500 discount so you feel good. Everything on this car is on the car. We didn't add a thing.
Okay, we're talking this is
$89.95.
Okay, we're going to put a star so we both remember this. Now, I don't want you to get mad at me.
Where are you going?
But I want to think about this tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here at 10 o'clock in the morning. If I'm satisfied today, I'll give you a check, a deposit, and you get the car ready for me.
Let me ask you another question. If you found out that everyone wants more money, say $200 more than $89.95, would you pay me more? Because there ain't.
I'll pay you more if this.
Okay.
If I find, wait a minute.
Okay.
Now we'll make a deal then.
Okay.
I'll give you the $200 difference.
Right.
However, if I find that I'm going to get somebody to beat this $89.95, will you give me the commission, the difference in commission between this and what they
If it's legit, yeah. But I want them to have a car you can drive away now. You have read about the car, you know the car, everyone
I love the car.
Okay. I'm just saying here, there's a brand new 82, selling you now for $89.95.
If I promise you on my...
I don't want promises. What I want is this. I want you to give me $100. I want $100 from you.
Now, what if I think about it overnight and I come in tomorrow and we make a deal?
What about the 100?
If I leave you $100, what?
I'll give you your 100 back. I'll give you your 100 back.
You know,
we're not in the deposit.
You drive a good
building.
bargain. All right, let me do this. Can I take this with me? Can I keep this?
Are you going to give me some money?
Let me just tonight just sleep on it. I'll be satisfied. You'll be happy. I'll come in tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. I'll give you a check.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Tomorrow when you come back, I'll sell you the car for $89.95. I'll sell it to you for $89.95.
Tax everything?
No. Plus your tax and everything. I'll sell you the car for $89.95. Okay? Tomorrow. You go sleep about it. Okay?
What did you sell me the car for today?
I said tomorrow I'll sell you the car for $89.95. Today I'll sell you the car for $88.95. You want it? Fine. You don't? You paid $100. It's only money. That's the way we're looking at it now. Today I'll sell you, tomorrow I'll sell you for $89.95 when you come back. Today I'll sell you for $88.95 now. Let me ask you one question, one point-blank question. Being realistic about everything we're talking about right now, that car sitting there in living color, what would you give me for the car right now and put a deposit down on for without, but being realistic about the automobile?
Realistically, I won't kid you.
Okay.
I know what these, I mean, I had an idea of what these list for, or what I'm going to see in a sticker.
Okay.
I was looking in my head that if I was going to be in the $8,700 neighborhood, plus the 6% tax and whatnot, that's my ball. I mean, that's where I'd be.
We're at 89, you're at 87, say $8,800. $8,800 for the car. And believe me when I tell you this, if you buy it, fine, you made yourself one hell of a buy. If you don't buy it, I ain't gonna be mad either. But like I told you, I don't want to break a chain. But at $8,800, you're meeting me halfway, I'm going halfway, you made a hell of a buy.
All right, I feel you've come that way with me. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to shop the price. I'm going to trust
I don't care
that
if you, at this price,
gonna,
I don't give a goddamn if you shop all day.
All right, I'm not going to. I'm going to sleep on it overnight. I'll
Give
come in here
me
tomorrow.
100. Give me 100.
I just told you I don't have my checkbook.
How much cash have you got?
$40 in here.
Give me 20. That'll make you come back. 20 bucks. Drop it on the table.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
20 bucks.
Because I'm serious about this.
Okay.
I'm going to put 20. Wait a minute.
Here's what I'm doing.
Let's split the difference. I was at 87. You were at 8800.
I was at 89. We're talking $8,800.
No, you were here at
88. $88.95. You were at 87. Okay, make it $87.95. That's $5. That's even now. That's even. That's even.
I wonder if I would.
You're a hard nose. You know what you're worried about? And I hate to see it in a person. You're so worried that you might have bought it cheaper.
Here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you a deposit.
Okay.
Let's make it an $8,700 even, and I'll give you the money right now.
I'll tell you what.
Because I don't
hold it. Whoa. So we don't get confused. Let's make it $8,850.
What did we just jump up from $87.95?
I mean, $8,750. Christ, you got me talking to myself now. $8,750. We were at $87.95, 87 and a half. That's it. Come on.
When can I have the car?
Tonight, if you want.
No, why? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, you want the car? Fine, I'll have it for you tomorrow. Take it whenever you want. It's all prepped. All I got to do is get it off the showroom floor.
You're taking this is my last $42 I got. I mean, I got to go to the bank.
Give me 40.
40? I
Give
can't.
me
I'll leave
20.
myself 20.
Give me 20. Give me 20.
If I give you here, you know how happy I'd be if I walked out of here with $8,700 deal that I had in my mind when I walked in? I would be so happy. My father wouldn't believe that I made this deal. That's what you're putting it on a piece of paper like this?
No. Have received. $20 deposit. From. You want me to write this up with the serial number and everything? Are you going to buy it at $8,700?
You're
going to buy it? $8,700?
Get the order and we'll write it.
All right.
Let's begin this last segment of your sales techniques program with a look at another close.
Right. Yeah. You're saying that they're not discounting these at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, the only reason that one's got $500 off is because of that tent sale, and that's it. They're not discounting, nobody is. No, because they can't get them. Because they sell one right after another, like, you know, like clockwork, one every 2 to 3 days, right? Maybe 1, 2 a week, maybe 4 the next week, maybe none the next week, but they sell, and they're not something, because of this being the first year, we're only getting 12,000 in, all right, in the entire United States. So there's an allotment per each dealer. Now, the more that we sell, the more we get. That's the only reason you see them there. I sold 6 myself, all right? 6 myself, and they've only been out since April 1st. We got them here March 1st. For the auto show, which was like the 10th, the 1st through the 10th. Mm-hmm. But they weren't actually introduced till April 1st, and I sold 6 myself.
Well, then you made enough commission on those that you could give me a little, maybe give me a better deal on this one. No?
I'll tell you, I'm being honest to God with you. $500 is more than I've ever seen taken off on any one of them.
Well, let's see what the damage is here first, so I won't waste your time. You won't waste my time. We'll see if we're in the neighborhood.
Okay.
I won't kid you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're already, when we add this on, we're already out of my ballpark.
What did you figure was your ballpark?
I'm looking, I knew I had to go a little higher with these turbos and whatnot. I was looking probably in the neighborhood of tops 10. And I mean, when I say tops, I mean tax and transfer and all this and that.
Well,
now,
if you didn't have the turbo, all right, if you didn't get the turbo, you would be under 10 tax and everything.
but on the other hand, as I'm looking at it, I'm looking at probably the resale of this turbo is a lot higher than the other one. So if I could make that initial investment now, I would think. I mean, I don't know.
You're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. You're telling yourself the exact same thing that I would tell you. And I'm not. And also, you're getting this car a lot less than anyone will be able to buy it exactly a year from now.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. I told you right up front that come here through somebody we mutually know. Told me I'm going to at least get somebody who's going to give me things straight. You're the first one I've come to.
Okay.
I do plan to do a little shopping.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'd have a hole in my head if I didn't make any other moves. But what I'd like to do is to, I'm giving you the first shot. Hopefully, I mean, if I could see that somebody's going to give me a better price, I want to come back to you. I don't want to be going back and forth and playing the haggle game. I want your best price from you. If you could give me that.
See, that's my best price.
That's it. Now, am I going to go down the street? I'm going to get a better price somewhere from some?
No. If you take them in this piece of paper and you show them, well, this is what I'm paying for the automobile, and they'll say, well, I'll beat it by $100. If you want to buy a car like that, then that's what you'd end up doing. You see what I'm getting at?
Well, I'm not looking for a $100 difference. I'm looking for.
That's all you'd be looking at.
That's
for
it.
reals. That's all you'd be looking at.
Let me
I
ask
have
you
people
something.
calling me and other dealerships screaming at me because I won't sell them a car unless they give me one in trade. I will not give it to them. I can't because they're selling. I'm giving you a $500 discount. I'm giving you your choice, whichever one you want. I'm giving you $500 off on a turbo, which has never been done before.
What about, would I have any room in here to play around with as far as trading in my other car?
A little bit, I'll tell you. A little bit. Only because, you seem like a person that takes care of your car. I'm assuming that your car that would be trading in, if you were, would be a nice automobile.
Well, what I got right now is it's 30,000 miles. It's in for the 30,000 mile checkup. I mean, it is in top. It's as clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how, obviously you're dealing off of wholesale price. I know the thing wholesale right now goes for around $4,000.
Okay.
I mean, some of this homework I've done, but I'm just getting started in this. So I'm looking for the best thing I can.
Okay.
Best deal I can. I mean, obviously, anybody who walks in this door, I'm sure they're all looking for the best deal they can.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you mean to tell me that's the bottom line for this, though?
The only thing I could do, help you out with, on things is like, if you wanted the body side moldings on it, or maybe you wanted to switch a cassette up for it, I could get you that cost, but that's all I'd be able to do, is get you things, for what they cost.
Well, and I guess at this point, I'd like not to trade in the car.
Okay.
I may have to go that route, but the only thing I could do is I could thank you for your time. I'm going to have to shop around a little bit and look. I like the car.
Let me ask you, what is your objection to buying the automobile today? Out of curiosity, if anything there was, the price is there. It's going to be that. What don't you like about the automobile?
I like the automobile. I mean, I like the automobile so much that I'm going to go $10,000 that today I think is unheard of to buy a car.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, unless you've got two broads in there that go with the car.
Yeah.
10 grand is a lot of money.
It is. It's
No
a lot of
doubt
money
about it.
yesterday, today, and it's going to be a lot of money tomorrow, too.
All right, so that's true. Now, I mean, I like the car, and I'm willing to go that high. I mean, again, that's a pretty steep price.
You wouldn't be looking at, like I was telling you, if you went somewhere else even, you wouldn't be looking at but like $100 difference. And then they wouldn't have it. And you know what's funnier yet? They couldn't even buy it from me. Okay?
Well, that's to be determined. I mean, not that I don't, believe you.
I'm just trying to save you a little bit of aggravation, all right? Because you'll go somewhere else and they'll tell you they can get it for you and everything else. But I know who's got them. Me.
But I'd feel bad. I'd feel bad if I didn't shop around a little bit.
No, I can understand. Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind if you did a bit. I can justify that to him, but he will not come down on the price. That's what I'm trying to get through to you. See what I'm getting at?
You mean to tell me if he knows that I'm going to give you a deposit today for a car for...
See?
At 10.5, he's not going to go for the deal?
It's crazy.
He'd rather give me a stereo? He'd rather give me a cassette player than to give me the price and sell the car?
It's crazy, yeah. See, it's crazy.
Well, then what I'm going to have to do at this point, so I don't take any more of your time. I know you're a busy man.
No, you have my undivided attention now. I'm not busy with anybody but you, okay?
Then you tell me what to do. How do I do this?
Okay.
I can't, I mean, if this is my bottom line.
Okay, let me do this. You're making an offer to me of taking it for like 10.5 with taxes and everything, right?
Right.
Let me see what he'll do for you to help the situation out, all right? Because I understand that you like the car and the price is your main objective, and because you live in the Heights and everything here, I'd damn sure like to have that turbo flying around the Heights.
Well, I would too.
Okay, you know what I mean? It makes sense. Let me get together with him and see what.
You want me to call you back? You want me to come back? You want me to wait? How do you want me to do it?
Can you?
You got my number. You want to give me a call?
What are you doing tomorrow about the same time?
Well, today I'm off.
Okay.
Okay, I'm an engineer downtown.
Okay.
I'm not back again now until 5:30 tomorrow.
Shall we?
Are you in here in the evening?
Yes. Can you stop here after work? Let your wife know that you're going to stop here.
Well, I think I want to bring her in too.
Okay. Well, why don't you do that? There. That's even better yet. Because then you're back with your wife, and I can tell them you're back with your wife and everything else, and we got to do something to help this man out.
What do you think? Now
I don't
tell
know.
me, so that I don't waste our time.
You're not wasting our time, because I don't know what his mood is. Because you know Marty and so on and so forth, that is a definite benefit.
Yeah.
That is a definite benefit.
Do you think there's room here to play a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you there isn't. I'd be a fool if I told you there wasn't. All right? But then again, this is my guideline at which I have to follow, and anything other than that, I have to go with him. He just left 2 minutes ago.
Is he a nice guy, or is he?
Yeah, he's super.
Yeah?
He's super, yeah.
What's his name?
Rick Rodell.
Oh, Rick. Okay.
Right, that's the guy with the snowmobiles I was talking about. But again, I would like to confer with him about it, and I'd like to see you in here tomorrow evening with your wife. You can take her for a ride, and she know how it operates and so on and so forth.
Okay.
All
right,
and then we'll go from there. Okay.
All right, can I keep your card with me?
Yeah, you take this. Here you go.
Before we get into your analysis of Dell's clothes, we thought you might be interested in hearing him talk about his strategy with this particular customer.
Okay, when you arrive to a point where the man says there is nothing at all about that automobile that he does not like other than the price, you got him, okay? You know, and he's begging me, tell me, am I wasting my time? Is there a place to move to? I says, yes, but I cannot make that determination. It's not within my power. I have to talk to the general manager, who's not here right now, whom I would have told him was not here right now, even if he was here right now.
Why is that?
Because I want him back with his wife, okay? Any decision, he's got to decide if he wants to pay cash up, you know, pay money up to move up the extra $1,000 that he wasn't planning on spending to get the turbo, okay? Or he's going to decide to trade in the car that's supposed to be his wife's. And his wife darn sure better be involved in that negotiation, see? Because if his wife is not involved in the negotiation, you don't have anything to work with. But once I got his wife here, and he likes the car that much, all right, I can sell her just the same way on the car. Then you got both of them liking it, He's looking for 617, right? Where if they both like it, it's easier to give him 2 or 3. Right now, I would have to given him 2 or 3, right? And then he would have still came back tomorrow with his wife and wanted more. Now I only have to give once.
So what you're saying is, you don't want to give in on price until the last possible moment.
That's right. It's like I explained to you about your last possible moment to sell somebody something. You don't want to give and you don't want to take too soon because there's a perfect time for it.
And what is that perfect time?
Like I explained to you now. I don't want to give him any money now because he's going to come back tomorrow and want more. See? It's easier to go 1 time 2 or 3 than it is to go 2 times 3. See? He wants 617. He says, can we split the difference between what I want to pay and what this is? All right, he wants about $600. Okay? Well, he's not going to get $600 from me. Not even tomorrow. Okay? But I'm not going to let him know today that he's not going to get $600 tomorrow. He's going to come back tomorrow to find out what I am going to give him.
That's the third close. Now let's talk about it. Another one of the major challenges in selling is to overcome objections and to deal with what we might call excuses. We're going to show you some very common situations and give you a chance to decide how you might handle them.
Okay.
Oh, you can do better than that.
Well, let's see what we can do for you.
It's strictly cash deal. We won't have to bother them without
Cash
any.
deal?
Yeah.
No financing or what have you? Okay, so you could drive home in the car today. If we can agree.
Take that one back.
Take that one back?
I could get it today, yeah, if we just go to the bank and get the money.
Okay. This one here, okay, with the automatic transmission, driving group, which includes a power steering, a soft feel steering wheel, the wider Michelin tires, tinted glass, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, convenience group, which includes power windows and door locks, floor mats, your fabric seats reclining, the rear defroster, the standard equipment, the tilt wheel. Okay, comes out to $10,325. Okay, now I added in additional rust proofing. If you didn't want it, that would be deducted, but just to let you know what the all-time high would be. So that brings to $10,500. That's your sales tax, transferring plates, total $11,798.
Now let's talk money. Now let's talk money.
Okay. Make me an offer. Bring up. What would you buy the car for?
Well, I've looked at another one, but it was a smaller wagon. You know, it was a wagon, and it was a Renault too.
It was a Renault also, huh?
Yeah.
From another dealership?
Oh yeah. And for that, well, of course, it was a little bit less than what you got there. Well, of course, it was a little bit less than what you got there.
Okay, did it have the same equipment? The automatic, the driving group, the tinted glass, air conditioning, AM/FM?
It had, as far as I know, it didn't have its power windows and power locks.
Okay, no
Forget
convenience
that.
group.
Forget the floor mats. But the one thing that it did have that I didn't like was the fact that it had the leather seats.
It had leather seats?
Not leather, but the
vinyl.
Vinyl seats.
Vinyl seats.
And I really wasn't nuts about the vinyl seats.
Yeah.
Once I buy a car, I keep it for 5, 6 years anyway.
Yeah.
But
well, this here, 11.7 is our list price.
yeah, I can understand that.
Right.
But I'm giving you a cash deal.
Right.
So you should be able to do a little bit better than that.
Okay. Well, make me an offer. Make me an offer. Say, if I could get that to you for what price were you at?
Oh, you was just going to tell me.
I'm just throwing a figure up in the air. I don't
Okay,
know.
throw it
See
up in
what I
the
can
air.
do. Say, what if I could get it to you for 10.8?
10.8. That's
about 10.8. If I can get that approved.
$300 off, eh? 10.8.
What will it do what will it take to do business with you today? Put it that way. I know you're in a rush.
Yeah.
We don't want to play any games.
No. Well, if that's the price of that one,
What would you pay for that car? What do you think that car is worth?
I think, of course, you're going to jump all over me when I tell you this, but I think it's worth about $9,500 myself.
$9,500.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you got to say about that?
Well.
What do you got to say about that?
Well, okay, now these cars are comparable to your BMWs, your Audi 4000s, and Volkswagen Jettas.
You didn't tell me
They're a
that.
lot more affordable. Yeah. Now, if you looked at one of those cars with this equipment,
well, I know they
13,
more money.
14.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, comparing in price to that car, I would say this one is a lot cheaper. Yeah.
Right. Inexpensive.
Inexpensive. Very good word. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'll have to do is I'll have to talk to my wife. What I'll have to do is I'll have to talk to my wife.
You have to talk to your wife.
That's a little bit more than we wanted to spend.
Why don't you give her a call and see what she thinks? You give her a
I can't
call?
get a hold of her now.
You can't get a hold of her now?
No.
Well, I'd like to do business with you today.
So would I.
What will?
Yeah.
Okay, what would it take to do business? Say, what if I could get this car to you for $10,500?
That's a little bit better, ain't it?
Better?
10.5. That's total. That takes care of everything.
Complete out the door. I could do it.
That sounds like a pretty fair price then.
Okay. Let me check and see if I can sell it at that figure. Okay, Gil. What I could sell the car to you for, if you give me a $300 deposit today, would have to be the one that comes in from the port, to call the port.
To call who?
The port.
Oh.
Where the vehicles come in.
Okay.
Okay. 10.5 I can sell it to you for today. Just need your okay right here, and $300 deposit.
Well, I haven't got 300 with me.
Just need your okay right here, and $300 deposit.
Well, I haven't got 300 with me.
What do you have? Could you leave me anything?
All I got's a credit card.
Credit card? We do take credit cards.
You do, eh?
Sure do.
Well, that's good. Well, how about if I bring my wife back here?
Bring your wife back.
Okay. You'll be here tonight. You'll be still,
sure
because
will,
I won't be able to pick her up till about 4 o'clock.
Well, do you want to leave a deposit on it, which would freeze it at this price?
I don't have, no, I wouldn't leave a deposit.
Approval?
No, I won't leave a deposit, because the last time I left a deposit on a car, I didn't get it back. No, I wouldn't leave a deposit. No, I won't leave a deposit, because the last time I left a deposit on a car, I didn't get it back.
It's a bad way to do business.
I know it.
It's a bad way. Excuse me for 1 minute, Gil.
Hey, I gotta go.
I'll be right with you.
Hey, I gotta go. So I wrote down 10.5, and that's
10.5.
firm. Is that right?
Right. 10.5.
No trade involved, right?
No trade.
He's gonna be selling
That's
his
why I thought you
vehicle
could do a
outright.
better deal with no trade. This
Well-
is strictly cash.
Why don't you give me my phone? Have you got
But
your
I haven't. No, I can't because I'm late now.
Have you got
But
your
I haven't. No, I can't because I'm late now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, bring your wife back in.
I'll bring her back
okay,
about 4
and
o'clock.
I'll sit down with you and I'll
Talk a little more money. Good. Sounds good to me.
give you the best deal. I can give you the best deal anybody else can. I mean, I can.
I hope so.
Like to have your business.
'Cause I like to save a little buck, and I like to see somebody else make a buck. Nice to
Okay.
meet you.
Last item. You've sold the car, and now you're about to deliver it. Listen to what our sales managers had to say about this step in the sale.
We always use, number one, we always use a manager to sign the papers. Now, we do this for 2 reasons. Number one, we want the customers to feel important. We want them to feel good about their purchase, and we feel if they're introduced to management, they know that they're not just dealing with one particular person in the company, that they're important to other people in the company other than just a salesman. We go out and thank them for the business, congratulate them, get the papers signed. The other reason we use management is if there are any questions at that time, any misunderstandings or any small problems, well, the salesman told me I can have floor mats or something like that, we can deal with that then, where the next day or 2 days later it becomes a problem. After the deal is signed and the customer is ready for delivery, the salesman then comes back into the picture with the temporary permit, goes over the features of the automobile, and if at all possible, it takes another demonstration ride with the customer to show them how the things would work, the different features that they may not be familiar with.
What we try to do, if all possible, is deliver the car the same day. If that delivery exceeds over 24 hours, you have a real good chance of losing it. There's a little disease out there called buyer's remorse, and it happens quite often. And the more you linger your delivery, the less chance you have of getting it on the road. And delivery should be set up and on an in-stock unit, of course, within 24 hours. If that's impossible, then you constantly follow up with the customer. You let them know that, hey, that is their car. We are installing equipment. Just give them a call, tell them that the car will be ready and the date that it was set up.
Well, okay, if each person would consider the amount of time they spend in selling an automobile and then stop and look and see how much time they spend delivering it, I think they'd be amazed that they invest 2 to 4 hours or 3 or 4 trips to the dealership to sell them a car. They try to fluff them out in 10 minutes. That's not the correct way to do it. Most important time for the customer is when they're taking delivery of the car. By that I mean they're the happiest. They're willing to do almost anything at this point. They're picking up a $10,000 investment they just made. They feel you should be as concerned to deliver it to them as you were to sell it to them. You should be there yourself if you're the salesman to deliver it to them. Go over all the points of the automobile, go over your warranty, make sure you've done everything like you did selling the car, but go back over it again. Find out if there's any questions. After you've done all your paperwork, go with them for a ride in the car, show them how everything operates, see if there's any questions the customer might have. When you're sitting at your desk, ask him if he has any friends or neighbors that are looking to buy a car. Best time in the world to find out who might be looking for a new car. When you take him for a ride and you brought him back to the dealership or you're about to thank him for purchasing from you and let him go, ask him again. You'd be surprised how many people he might tell you are looking for a car.
Now, let's watch a delivery.
Well, here's your new car.
All right. Hey.
How's it look?
Got white stripes on this one.
Yeah. How's it look?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. It looks real good. Let me just go over a couple things with you on it. Here's a packet that you can keep in the glove box. And in it tells you about the Michelin tire warranty. It gives you instructions here on all the Renault radios, including the cassette model. This is the owner's warranty and maintenance guide. And in the front of it is all the information that any AMC or Renault dealer would want should you have a problem with the car or have to take it in for warranty. I will go over most of the features with the car on the car with you right now, and if I forget or you forget what I've told you, then you can refer back to the book. So that's basically everything that goes in this nice little packet. The only thing else I'm going to add to this packet is some of my business cards. And if you know anybody who's buying a car,
send them your way.
And you send them my way, put your name on the back of the card, and if they buy a car, I'll send you a check for $25. And that's enough to fill your Fuego up with gas.
There you go.
All right? So there's that. Now I'm just going to go over...
This car is going to be a walking advertisement.
Go over a few things with you. For one thing, Susan, you weren't here when I went over. This is the seat recliner right here. Okay? And it works, it's on both sides, and it works on both sides. Your remote control left-hand mirror is here, your door lock here. You have to lock the doors with the keys. That way you can't lock your keys in the car, okay? Get into the car, it has a tilt wheel. The tilt wheel control is underneath the steering column. You pull it down, and you can put it anywhere you want it. When you get it where you want it, you just push it forward and it locks it, okay? This is the horn on the end, okay? To turn on the lights, you turn that, okay? When it's in down position, you're on parking lights. When you go up to the middle position, you're on your driving lights, and when you go all the way up to the high, you're on high beams. The shorter stick is the turn signal. This sometimes can be a problem. People forget which is which and try to grab the long stick, but the short stick is the turn signal. To get into the back seat, this lever here, you just lift it up and tilt the seat forward. You'll find map pockets back here. The seats fold down very easily by throwing that lever there, and I will open up the back first and show you. This is how you get the back open right here. Now, some interesting things about the back hatch here. Number one is never run this car through a car wash with this rear wiper on it. Okay? They will break. They will break the glass and everything else. If you want to run it through a car wash, take the wiper off. It's as easy as going like that, lifting that up, and there's the nut right there. Okay? Now, in the back, you'll see the little controls here to release the seats, and they just push forward like that. Same way on the other side. You also have two small compartments back here. One houses the battery. The other one houses the jack and the jack handle. There's also some room back there to store a little bit of a purse or a camera or something like that. To get the spare tire down, you have to put the jack handle right there and twist it, and that's a lock. And then the spare tire can be released from down underneath here by this release right here. When you go to close the back hatch, the best way to do it is to put a hand over each latch and bring it right down and close it just like that. One other thing I wanted to show you, under the hood, and the hood release is right under the dashboard here in the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember what I was going to ask you.
This is the power steering reservoir. Okay, that's the power brake reservoir. And this right here is the windshield washer fluid reservoir.
Okay, and you got to keep it under 55 now, huh?
Right.
It's gonna be hard.
That's gonna be hard, right?
But you can't. Can you get the blower going? Just keep it under 55.
Oh yeah.
You can step on it.
Second gear, you can get the turbo going.
Well, yeah, okay. I mean, you don't have to go that easy on it.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, I know you're gonna enjoy it as much as I enjoyed selling it to you. So
I'll be back for the radio and my bumper stripes.
Right.
And I guess I'm gonna want those.
Right.
Try to find a
And does it have gas in it?
It should have enough gas to get to the gas station. It should have about a quarter tank of gas.
Yeah, tank of gas.
Yeah.
And I gotta find some unleaded regular for me.
Unleaded.
Premium.
Unleaded premium, right?
That's what he meant to
Unleaded
say.
premium, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good. Maybe I better.
Thank you.
Yep.
Should I try it on here first, I suppose?
Sure, go right ahead. You got the keys?
No.
You'll need them.
Oh, I got.
Here's a set for you.
Oh my. I don't think he's gonna.
And here's a set for you.